What would a calmer future look like? There are many ways to tell a complex story. I'll start this one with the question my boss used to ask me every few months whenever we got into the elevator to his office in Boston. If teleporters were real, where would you live? I have thought about this for over a decade. Even science fiction struggles to imagine a world with radically better transport. Star Trek popularized the idea of teleporters, but still shows people using flying cars in conventional cities. It's hard for us to imagine a world where distance really doesn't matter. It would be a world without scarcity, and it's hard to tell stories without conflict. Our fears about an overcrowded planet are complex and confused. We are actually crowding into small numbers of already dense cities while leaving vast expanses underpopulated. Dreams of colonizing other planets are nonsense. We have plenty of land here, but the wrong kind of infrastructure. We can't afford to build this infrastructure where we need it, so people instead move to where it already exists. Our cities are so densely packed, it's hard to visualize their populations without adding extra dimensions. This creates hidden social and economic pressures wherever you live. One unexpected reason for this is the sheer weight of vehicles. Cars often weigh from 10 to 20 times as much as a single passenger. They are only getting heavier. Public transport is better, but still heavy. Heavy vehicles create a problem, since we don't travel in sync, but need to go in different directions. We get in one another's way at junctions, creating a kind of friction. It is expensive to build graded infrastructure to let people travel above and below each other. As any cyclist knows, strapping yourself into several tons of metal is not the best way to get around. The person who asked me the question about teleporters was constantly in motion, in and out of airports, up in the air, but even for him, travel was frustratingly slow, full of friction and delays. That's why he dreamed of teleporters. So the question we should ask ourselves is not really about teleporters, but about our current transport. Why is it so bad? What is the alternative? Now imagine the future and a new generation of transport. You are at home and need to go somewhere far, too far to walk or cycle. A light vehicle comes to your door. It picks you up and takes you on surface streets at slow speeds, but within 15 minutes you reach the high-speed rail network. The vehicle takes you smoothly up on the rails, which also charge it. Your vehicle automatically entrains with others to reduce air resistance. You're soon travelling at high speeds without junctions, traffic lights or delays. It's a nice view. The vehicle gets close to your destination, which might be in another city, and dismounts from the rails back onto surface roads. And within 15 minutes of dismounting, you have arrived. Now imagine the rails are cheap to build, cheaper in fact than existing roads or railways. A network of these mean you could be anywhere within 100 kilometers within an hour, 300 kilometers in 2 hours. What would this do to our ideas of distance? What would it do to the cost of living? The question now may not even be about where you would live, but how. And if the idea of better transport raises fears of sprawling suburbs or even more resource extraction, I had these too. But if we can build enough infrastructure, I think our need to move around and the economic pressures that drive that would be much less. In the next video, I'll share some details about the technical aspects of this solution. It's something we can already build now. In the third video, I'll expand on how I got here and why I believe it's important.